Linear equations. This is a review of part 6. In today's lesson, students will review how to graph linear equations by identifying the slope and y-intercept. By identifying the what? Very good. Now, you all remember Yo Mama's ex-boyfriend. But why do we use Yo Mama's ex-boyfriend? Well, we use this equation to help us to graph a line. And we look for two things in the equation. What do we look for? Two things. So first, you have to look at Yo Mama. No, I'm serious. You got to look at Yo Mama, and you got to figure out what is the slope. So again, read it with me. It's y equals mx plus b. And Yo Mama is the slope. That's m. M is the number that touches x. The number that what? Very good. Then you have the y-intercept. Which intercept? The y-intercept. Now that is the boyfriend. The boyfriend is the first thing you have to look at when you graph. But the y-intercept is going to be the number that is being added to the linear term. This is a linear term. A linear term has x and it's being multiplied by a number. What is this called? Very good. So first, like I said, you have to look at the boyfriend because the boyfriend is usually the problem, okay? So you're going to circle the y-intercept. What is the y-intercept? Okay? It's what? It's 1. Exactly. All right? Then I want you to underline Yo Mama, all right, if you can. No, you can. What is the number that touches x? What is this? Is that a number? Is it a whole number or is it a fraction? Who thinks it's a whole number? Who thinks it's a fraction? Very good, it's a fraction. So you're going to underline that number, okay? Now that's the slope. Before, remember, we had to put the slope over 1, but we don't have to do that anymore. What is the slope? What is m? Remember, m is the red number. M is 1/3. So remember, that's rise over run. So when you go to graph a line, you begin with the boyfriend or the y-intercept. The y-intercept is on which axis? It's on the y-axis. So you're going to go ahead and put a point at 1 because b is 1. B is the boyfriend, right? B is 1. So you start with 1 on the y-axis. Okay, the y-axis goes up and down. Which way does the y-axis go? Up and down. So you start with 1. Make your point. Everybody do that right now. Okay? From this point, you have to rise up and run over. How much are you going to rise? You're going to rise up 1. So you're going to rise up 1, and then you're going to run over, which means you're going to go to the right, because it's positive. So you're going to go up 1. I'm going to do it like this. Hold on. Okay, here we go. You're going to go up 1 over 3. So you're going to run over 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that point should be at 3, 2. Are we good? From this point, you're going to use the slope, the mama, one more time, and you're going to rise up 1, and you're going to go over 2. 1, 2. That point should be at 5, 3. So now you have 3 points. You can connect these points to make a line. Okay. So this line, the equation for this line is y equals 1/3 x plus 1. Let's do another example of graphing a line that has a negative slope. What kind of slope? Negative slope. And how do you know it's negative? Well, that's because there is a negative sign in front of Yo Mama. Okay? So, you need to identify two things. The first thing you're going to identify is Yo Mama, is your slope, right? Okay? So, your slope is the number that touches x. What kind of number is this? It's a fraction. So we're going to underline the fraction. The fraction is 2/3. So we say our slope, which is the red number, is -2/3, which means you will rise down 2 but run over to the right, 3. Okay, now you need to identify the boyfriend or the y-intercept. What is the boyfriend? He is the y-intercept. All right, so you're going to go ahead and circle that number that is not touching x, which in this case is what number, my friends? It's -3. Very good. So B is -3. And we're going to go ahead and circle this because that's what you start with, right? This is step number 1. And step number 2 is to use the slope to graph the points. The first step is what? Use which? The y-intercept, right? Use the B. It's on the y-intercept at -3. So where is -3 on the y-intercept? It's right here. See? -3. So you're going to put a point at -3. Are we good? All right. So your point's at -3. From this point, you're going to use the slope to rise and run. Okay? So this says that you're actually going to go down 2. So let me move this down so you can all see. All right. Here we go. You can go down 2. You're going to rise down, right? Because it's -2. You're going to go down 2. So you're going to go down 1, 2. And how many will you run over? You'll run over how many? 3. So down 2 and then over 3. 1, 2, 3. So that point should be at 5, 3. Now it looks like we've run out of room. Oh my goodness, what to do, what to do? Well, let me tell you this. Well, let me ask you this. Is -2 over 3, is that the same as 2 over -3? Is that the same? Are they still both -2/3? Is there one negative here? Is there one negative here? Yes. These are the same things. So my friends, you could write the slope as -2 over 3 or 2 over -3. And why do I tell you that? Because from the y-intercept, your boyfriend, -3, you could also rise up 2, but run over to the left 3. Watch it. Go up 2, 1, 2, but now we're going to run over 3. So you're going to say 1, 2, 3. And this point should be at -3, 1. Let me see if I did that right. I did. Yay. That's a relief. Okay. So you have your 3 points. They don't look exactly perfect, but you make your line, and this is a negative slope, so it goes down. Okay, and those are 2 examples of how to use your mama's ex-boyfriend by identifying the slope and y-intercept to create a linear equation.